ever feel like you're playing chess, but you can't quite figure out your opponent's next move?
Right.
That's where today's deep dive comes in.
Okay.
We are tackling SWOT analysis.
Yeah.
You've probably heard the term.
For sure.
But we're going beyond the basics today.
Okay.
Using this article from toolthinker.com as our guide.
Right.
Think of this as your cheat sheet to mastering strategic thinking.
Yeah.
Whether you're prepping for a big meeting or just love getting a leg up in the business world.
What's fascinating about SWOT is that it's been around for decades.
Oh, wow.
We're talking all the way back to the 1960s at Stanford Research Institute.
Oh.
And it's still a go-to framework today.
Okay, so it stood the test of time.
Yes.
But why? What makes SWOT so enduring?
It's all about getting a clear picture of where you stand.
Okay.
Think of it like this.
Yeah.
Strengths and weaknesses are like looking in the mirror.
Okay.
They're all about you, opportunities, and threats. That's looking out the window at the world around you.
So SWOT is basically a reality check.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's crucial for making smart decisions.
Right.
Let's say you're a company. Like, Netflix.
Okay.
Their massive content library is a definite strength.
Yeah.
But relying so heavily on subscriptions could be a weakness if the market shifts.
I see. So it's about understanding both the good and the, let's say, areas for improvement.
Yes, exactly.
But how do you actually do a SWOT analysis?
Yeah.
Is it just a brainstorming session?
It's more structured than that. It's about systematically gathering information for strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
You're looking inward. Think about your resources.
Okay.
What you excel at and where you might be lagging behind. Then you shift your focus outward to scan for opportunities and threats.
Okay.
This involves things like market research, analyzing your competitors, and even keeping an eye on those larger trends.
It's like changes in technology or consumer behavior.
So it's like detective work.
Exactly.
Gathering clues both inside and outside your organization.
Exactly. And just like a good detective, you need to prioritize your findings. You can't chase every lead. Right. You have to focus on the factors that will have the biggest impact on your goals. For example, imagine that retail company mentioned in the article.
Okay.
One of their strengths is strong brand recognition.
Yeah.
But they also acknowledge a weakness. Inconsistent customer service.
Yeah.
Which one of these do you think they should prioritize?
Well, inconsistent customer service could really damage that strong brand recognition, right?
Right.
So maybe tackling that weakness should be higher on the list.
That's a great insight. See how SWOT helps you connect the dots and make strategic decisions?
Yeah.
It's not just about listing things out. It's about analyzing how those factors interact and what they mean for your overall strategy. Okay, I'm starting to see how powerful this can be.
Yeah.
But let's go back to that retail company for a second.
Okay.
The article mentioned some pretty interesting opportunities and threats they were facing. I'm particularly curious about how they're navigating the rise of online shopping.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
The article highlights the booming e-commerce market as a major opportunity for them.
Okay.
They already have a decent online presence.
Yeah.
So the question is, how can they leverage that to capture a larger slice of the pie?
Right. It's like they're standing at a crossroads. They could either go all in on e-commerce or risk being left behind.
Precisely.
Wow.
But they also face some serious threats.
Okay.
Think about those e-commerce giants that are already dominating the online space.
Right.
Competing with them takes serious resources and strategy.
And I imagine things like economic downturns and changing consumer preferences can make the whole retail landscape pretty unpredictable.
Absolutely. SWOT analysis helps you anticipate those potential storms and come up with a plan to weather them.
I see.
But here's where things get even more interesting.
Okay.
SWOT isn't a solo act.
Oh.
There are other tools that can take your strategic thinking to the next level.
Oh, I'm all ears.
Oh.
Tell me more about these tools.
One that pairs really well with SWOT is the TOW-WS matrix.
TOW-WS matrix?
Yeah. It takes those strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats you've identified, and helps you create strategic options by matching them up.
So instead of just having a list of factors,
Right.
you're actively looking for ways to connect them.
Exactly.
Oh.
It's like you're playing a game of strategic matchmaking.
Oh.
For example, you might use a strength to capitalize on an opportunity.
Okay.
Like if that retail company used their brand recognition to launch a new line of products specifically for online shoppers.
I see. So TOBUS is about turning insights into action.
Yes.
What about that other tool you mentioned, the PESTEL analysis?
That's all about zooming out and understanding the bigger picture.
Okay.
PESTEL stands for political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal factors.
Wow, that's a lot.
It's about analyzing those macro-level trends that can have a ripple effect on your business.
So it's like checking the weather forecast, but for the entire business environment.
You got it.
Oh, wow.
Let's just say there's a shift in government regulations that impact e-commerce.
Okay.
That's something our retail company would need to factor into their strategy. PESTEL helps you spot those potential changes on the horizon.
This is fascinating.
Yeah.
It's like having a whole arsenal of tools for strategic thinking.
It is.
You've got SWOT to assess your internal and external landscape.
Right.
TOWS to create strategic options. And PESTEL to scan that wider environment for potential disruptions or opportunities.
And just like any good craftsperson, you need the right tools for the job.
Yeah.
SWOT, TOWS, and PESTEL. They all work together to give you a more comprehensive and nuanced understanding of your strategic situation.
This has been incredibly insightful.
Good.
But before we get too carried away with all these strategic frameworks,
Right.
let's pause for a second and recap the key takeaways from our SWOT deep dive so far.
Great idea.
Okay.
We started by exploring the enduring power of SWOT analysis.
Yeah.
How it helps you understand your internal strengths and weaknesses, as well as those external opportunities and threats that can make or break your success.
And we talked about the importance of prioritization.
Yes.
It's not enough to just list those factors.
Right.
You have to figure out which ones are most critical to address.
Right.
We also saw how SWOT can be applied to real-world scenarios, like that retail company facing the challenges and opportunities of the e-commerce boom.
And we even explored some complementary tools like TOWS and PESTEL,
Right.
which can add even more depth and sophistication to your strategic thinking. What's really exciting is that SWOT analysis isn't just for businesses. It's a framework that anyone can use to make smarter decisions and achieve their goals, whether it's in their career, personal life, or even just navigating a tricky situation.
So it's about empowering yourself to become a more strategic thinker,
Right.
regardless of what you're trying to accomplish.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, as we wrap up this deep dive, what's that one thought-provoking question you want to leave our listeners with?
Okay.
Something that will really get them thinking about how they can apply SWOT in their own lives.
Here's something to consider.
Okay.
Think about an area of your life where you're facing a challenge or decision. Maybe it's a career change, a personal project, or even just figuring out your next steps. Now ask yourself, what are my strengths in this situation?
Okay.
What are my weaknesses? What opportunities can I leverage? And what potential threats do I need to be aware of?
That's such a powerful question to consider.
Yeah.
It really brings home the point that SWOT analysis isn't just a business tool.
Right.
It's a way of thinking that can empower us to make smarter decisions in any area of our life.
Exactly. And you might be surprised by what you discover when you take the time to really analyze your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
Yeah.
It can be like shining a light on those hidden resources and capabilities you never even knew you had.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
It's like taking an inventory of your personal assets. But instead of just focusing on material things, you're also assessing your skills, experiences, knowledge, even your personality traits.
And the best part is SWOT analysis is incredibly simple to do.
Right.
You don't need any fancy software or a team of consultants.
No.
Just grab a pen and paper or open up a document on your computer and start brainstorming those key questions.
Okay.
What are my strengths in this situation? What are my weaknesses? What opportunities are out there that I can leverage?
Right.
And what potential threats do I need to be aware of?
It's a process of self-discovery that can lead to some amazing insights.
Yes.
It can help you identify those blind spots that might be holding you back. And it can also highlight those hidden strengths that you can leverage to achieve your goals.
And by understanding those external opportunities and threats, you can start to anticipate those changes on the horizon and position yourself to make the most of them.
This has been such an eye-opening deep dive into SWOT analysis.
Yeah.
It's really shifted my perspective on how I approach decision-making.
Yeah.
Not just in my work, but in my personal life as well.
I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Remember, strategic thinking isn't just for CEOs and executives.
Right.
It's a skill that everyone can develop and benefit from.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
I encourage all of our listeners to take some time this week to conduct their own SWOT analysis.
Yeah.
Whether it's for a specific challenge they're facing or just as a way to gain a better understanding of their current situation.
Yeah.
You might be amazed by what you uncover.
And remember, knowledge is power.
Yeah.
By understanding your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, you're empowering yourself to make more informed decisions and create the future you want.
That's a perfect note to end on.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into SWOT analysis.
Of course.
Until next time, fellow deep divers, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep striving to be the best, most strategic version of yourselves